Hi, my name is Juanica Thomas and this is my hero's journey, and in this video we're going to talk about the resurrection. So basically I've already told you how I wanted to be on a platform and speaking and everything, but that didn't really come about as my goal until I was at a conference with Heidi Baker. My friend Augustine introduced me to Heidi Baker as far as listening to some of her sermons. And she's like, she's going to be in town at Catholic Fire Church in Raleigh. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's go. I'll, listen to her and just see what this is all about. So when we went, her message there was answering the call of God and knowing what that call is. And so she asked us to just sit quietly in prayer as she prayed over us for God to release to us what it is that we are meant to do. And I felt like in that instance, which ties into what I told God in 2009, I felt like that I was going to be speaking to young women and teenagers about their identity and their purpose in life, so that they can fulfill the things that God has called them to do. I felt like I was going to be an inspirational person, an encourager, to nurture and pull out those things that people are called to do, like to see what is in them that they need to be doing and identify that with them, and help them be focused and turn in that direction so that they can fall into place with their calling and not just live life and just existing. And then, once I started realizing that and accepting that, I prayed about it, and in that revealing, he said, "You're going to be like Heidi Baker and Joyce Meyer." And I was just like, why Heidi Baker and why Joyce Meyer? Those two people are like total opposites as to how they talk and communicate. And he revealed to me this year, when I finally just, was like, God, why them? He revealed to me that Heidi Baker has a very gentle and nurturing approach to how she speaks, but she's also very artistic. She's a dancer, singer, very compassionate, big heart for children. And where I'm related to Joyce Meyer is because I can relate to her background, the things that she experienced in her past, the broken marriage that she had, the self-pity, the negative voices that were in her head that she had to combat, and the being a Christian but not enjoying life. And so those two aspects of what God was showing me, that I'll be able to come together and bring forth on a platform. And once I started just really seeking God as to what I'm supposed to be doing, this past 12 months were very hard for me. Actually, to this day, there was a 13-month period, maybe 14-month period, where I went from my being okay, loving God, sure of myself, to being questionable about, am I hearing God? Is He real? What am I doing? To the point where I had begun to settle and believe that this is just going to be my life. I'm going to be in a job that I don't particularly enjoy. I can do it, I do it well, but my heart's not in it. Settling for the fact that my kids just may never come back home, and I'll just have them every other weekend. Because at that point, my visitations were restricted even more so, and it was just painful. It's just like, how did I get to this place? And just wanting to just lay down and die, pretty much, like die to the dreams, die to the visions, die to the promises that I felt like were where I was supposed to be, and just go ahead and just exist like maybe this was all made up in my head and that this is going to be my life, and struggling and trying to make ends meet with living paycheck to paycheck and just not being healthy, not being happy, struggling. And it just was like, maybe this is it. Nothing's changing. Nothing's ever going to change. But as I mentioned before in the movie Gravity, I watched that movie and also Walking with Dinosaurs with my children that weekend. And the common theme in both of those that I really just picked up on was that the main characters were willing to just lay down and die, but something in them sparked that they had something to live for. And they automatically just rose up, and in them there was this passion, this fire, this drive that was resurrected in them to get their goal, to complete their mission, to go after the things that they had hoped for such a long time. And it was just like, I can't lay down and die. And it was, I found it funny that the video, those two movies I watched on the same day had the same theme. And I felt like God was saying, wake up. You're not done. You need to get up and fight. It's not over. And it was just like, okay. And I just pulled up and just resurrected. I started being more proactive. And this was recent. This was within the last few months that I watched these two movies. And it's just like, I can't settle. I've come too far. You know, even though my business didn't work out the way I wanted it to, even though my book didn't become that bestseller that I thought it could be, you know, even though my kids are not necessarily living with me, they have a love for me that is amazing and astounding. They have a respect for me. They desire to be like me. And it's just like, okay, I'm doing something right. They can see the strength in me. And even when I falter and I may speak negatively, they come back with my own words and tell me, Mom, you can't give up. Why are you speaking negatively? You know, you got to speak positive. And it's just like, they're listening. And it's like, okay, I got to do this. I got to do this for my soul. I got to do this for them. And I got to do this for you guys. Those people out there that need to hear what it is that God has put within me that is going to be received. Because not everybody that speaks is received by that person. It's a specific message and a way of delivery that's specifically tuned to you that I can give. And so I had to realize that I have something unique. I have a purpose that's specifically geared to what I can accomplish that will be received by those people out there that's in tune with me. And so that was what resurrected me up. I had to get up and move forward. And so I'm going to speak about me moving forward in the return with the elixir. So stay tuned for my next chapter, my hero's journey, Juanica Thomas, and I hope to see you on the next video.